Welcome to Fear Not, Yoga with Claire Hartley. So my 9-year-old daughter got out of bed last night. I could tell as I was putting her to bed, and the way she looked at me, and I closed the door and I went, she's getting out of bed. You know, you just have that feeling if you have a young kid. You're like, she's not going to stay in bed. And so, 3 minutes later, right, so I'm in my bedroom, and she comes in, and she does this, kind of once a week, and she looks at me with those big blue eyes and says, "My mummy meter is not full." And I'm like, really? No, it's just not. It's just not full. So it would be really good if we got on the couch and had a cuddle. So I say, all right, let's go into the bed. So now, before she came in, I had okay, put her to bed. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I got to check this. I'm going to go to my computer, right? I had this sort of little list of things that I wanted to accomplish before I sort of just settled down myself for the night. And so we sort of got on the bed, and she wraps herself around me, as she does, and, does all this very sweet things. I don't know if you remember being in love with your mother in that way, right? Kind of reminds me, I was like, oh, I remember that feeling, like, Mom, And it's so sweet to have that and to see it. But what I noticed for the first few moments, first minute or so, is the list of things that I was going to get accomplished. And so sort of holding her, and then I'm like, okay. And then I caught myself, thank God, right? And then of course you'd be like, well, it's so easy to catch yourself, Claire. Look at this delicious child entwined around you. Doesn't make any difference when the mind, when the ego, when the list doer, right, the busy maker is kind of on a track. You could literally have, Jesus Christ walk in front of you, and you'll say, excuse me a moment, because I got to take this text, right? Right? This is the way that we're sort of becoming, is this list of doers rather than beers, and I had to really switch myself as a doer and become, right, the lover, become the lover. And it occurred to me that we're all doing this, as in, we're both of these, right? We're the 9-year-old and we're me. We're all in relationship in this way. And so often people come to us, friends, coworkers, whatever environment you're in, and they are literally, there's a Rumi poem that says, right, be the person that is in reply to all of those that have in their eye, love me, right? So we're all in some way, in whatever relationship that we're in, looking at a person and asking for love, right? And how present are we as the answerer, right? As the person who's there to either be a friend or, an acquaintance even, right? We're so often somewhere else, don't have time, don't know how important you are right now. I may be somewhere else in my head. So, it was a lovely, a reminder of presence in relationship. How present. Now, of course, the original presence is how in relationship with myself in that moment was I. No, I was externalizing everything for a moment, right, for a couple of minutes. So, let's come and take a little time to internalize this moment, right? We'll close the eyes, so we're not moving outward right now. We'll see if we can exchange this relationship in our asana practice, where we're moving in our asana practice. That's in relationship with the physical body, but holding on to this sense of answering back the present moment with love. Right? Is the present moment giving us, which it always is, an opportunity to answer with love? So as we sit and close your eyes, just for a moment, you tap into behind the heart. Notice. Am I waiting for something to happen? Is the doer chomping at the bit? And how quickly can you drop into beingness? Breath is the good indication. So as we take our palms to prayer, bring your thumb, draw them into the breastplate, and then use that thumb, lift the chest up so that the body starts to physically answer that call for love. So we're irradiating from the inside to the outside. Let's take a deep breath in. Inhale. Inhale the breath. And exhale, bow inward, bow to the inner teacher. So the inner teacher is always the one that's echoing back, doing the call and the response of love, of presence. Right? We're just here to listen a little more deeply. And let's lift the chin, release the arms, blink the eyes open. Let's come start on the back, come lay down. If you have any injuries, anything going on in your body, you might call me over, let me know, stuff I don't know, if I can help you with. Good. So as you lay down, hug your knees into your chest for Appanasana. You just take both legs, squeeze in. Yes. So the response to tightness, right, grippiness, if that's a word, grippiness, is breath, and the breath dives in that energy of love. This is how we heal.
I just pinched a nerve in my back this morning, but I got tired.
Okay.
It's hard to take a deep breath.
Okay.
And do the backbends, but I'm determined to work it out.
Yeah, okay.
Good. All right. Take your knees. Let's come ahead and take the knees to the left. Let's take a gentle twist. So if you are tight in the lower back, bring the knees a little further away from the chest. So the lower you drop the knees, the higher up the back this will take you. Bring your hand to the top part of that hip. Right, so bring the left hand, kind of get hold of the hip crease, the top of the hip crease, and draw that hip down away from the waist. You're going to inhale right in there, and then exhale just down a little from the waist. Right, create just a little space, for another breath. And then we'll inhale. You're going to take your knees up to center, hug the belly in a little bit, so a little core work. And then exhale, take the knees to the other side. And again, if the back is tight, draw your knees down away from the waist. Yeah. And then take your hand up to that hip crease. Maybe press your thumb right in there, and then draw that hip away from your waist. Create a little space. So that quality of doing this is compression, right? Cramped, tight. If you were to put, I know me, I have a to-do list. It is, it's quite magical, my to-do list. It never ends. I've actually never gotten to the end of it. I wonder what would happen if I did. Would I finally find that pot of gold? Something, I would imagine, something magical must happen if the end of that to-do list is all ticked off. I don't think I'll ever find out. Come on up, come to happy baby, flex the feet. And what's even more interesting about the to-do list is that I have The same to-dos written over and over again in different parts that apparently I'm avoiding. They're mostly to do with insurance. And then take your right leg and straighten it just a little bit out to the side. Exhale. Right? And then just tip over to that side. Yeah, tip the right leg. You can grab hold of your shin if you can't get it straight in that happy baby. And then come back to center, and then exhale, tip over to the left, and just see if you can straighten a little bit of that leg. And then come back to center. Good. And then take your feet to the ground. Let's bring the feet to the earth. Knees to the ceiling. Separate your feet hip distance apart. Tuck and roll your shoulders underneath you. Arms are down by the side of your waist. Start to activate your glutes. We're going to do gentle hip lifts. Inhale, lift the hips up off the mat, and you can send the arms up right above the head. And then as you exhale, exhale just the hips down to the ground. So gentle bridge lifts. Inhale, but let's see if we can activate the glutes and the hamstrings as we come up. Arms above, and then exhale, arms down. Good. We're taking that lift, inhale, and as you firm the glutes, you're making the body know, okay, the backs of my legs and my glutes have to work and activate as I move today. Inhale. It doesn't have to be the biggest back bend in the upper back, no worries, right? You can come up just a little bit as well, right? If you're finding that your lower back is grabbing, come up less, and have those legs do more of the work. Let's take 3 more. Good, back and forth. Lovely, guys. Deep inhale, up you come. Deep exhale, down you go. Good. Okay, so then inhale, you'll come and draw your knees back into your chest. Start to rock backwards and forwards until you can come all the way up into Malasana, squat pose, and then forward fold. Until you land on those feet, come up to stand, drop your head, and Uttanasana, wide forward fold. So if you've got a tight back today, take your feet wider. Drop your head in. Now let's all open the mouth wide a couple of times. Stretch out the muscles on the face and the tongue. Notice if there's gripping around the eyes. Put a bend in the knees. Put a good deep bend in the knees and wrap around the legs a little with your arms. So hug into yourself. So replace the name Mummy with your name as you wrap around yourself and say, my Claire meter is not full right now, right? Hug yourself in. It's really what we're doing, right? As my daughter came and said, my mummy meter is not full, right? She needed to be filled up with a certain type of prana, a certain type of love, a certain type of life force. This is what you're doing in your yoga practice, right? You're coming in to fill up, right? And then, of course, as with yoga, it was the opposite of everything. You're also coming in to empty. Never one thing in yoga. Bring your feet together. Start to walk them in. Take your inner edges of your feet to touch and lift the chest, half forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, fold in. Again, Ardha Uttanasana, inhale. Now accentuate the upper back bend, even if you have your hands on your shins, and then exhale, fold in. Lovely yogis. Inhale, sweep the arms up, send them all the way up, gaze up. Press the palms together right at the top. Exhale, palms to prayer. Inhale, I love this breath. Draw the arms up. Urdhva Hastasana in Tadasana. As you exhale, take that deep breath over with you. Draw your hips out wide and long over the head. Inhale on your fingertips or hands on shins. Exhale, step back. Come to plank pose. Inhale in your plank. Exhale, let's go to the ground. Drop the knees first. If you need to, come all the way down, flat on your belly. Baby cobra. Bring those palms alongside your rib cage. Lift the chest. Exhale, release. Come up, tuck the toes. Come to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up behind you. And as you exhale, step the right foot through. Drop your back knee to the ground. Reach the arms up alongside your ears. Right, low lunge or Anjaneyasana with arms up. Hug the waist in to protect the back. Send the side waist, draw it back. Good. Keep the arms right alongside the ears. Big breath in. So there's a sense of lifting up, right? Those bandhas just start to become a natural thing that we're engaging. So as you draw the pelvic floor up, draw the pelvic floor and imagine it can come up towards your fingers. Inhale a breath. And then exhale, take the hands down. Step back, plank pose. Let's take 3 breaths in plank. Release the grip. If you've got a really, an overly straight arm, right? If you've locked the elbow, bend the elbows a little out to the side and then externally rotate the bicep towards the front of the room. Lift your thigh bone up, right? So there's a sense of really strong leg in the plank. Inhale. And go to the floor or Chaturanga Dandasana. Exhale. Inhale your cobra or your up dog again. Let the pose take shape. There's no rush, right? Exhale, downward facing dog. And we're going to bring that quality of beingness into the doing of the asana, right? This is practice. Take your left leg up. Inhale. Exhale, step it through. Drop your back knee to the ground. Low lunge, then Anjaneyasana, and arms up alongside the ears. So draw the waist, right? 2 waists or the side of the body. Draw them in. And then that sense of pelvic floor lift comes up as an experience. Yeah. Then as the side body comes up, we don't have to lift the shoulder head so much, right? The arms go up through the side body. We're training the body right now. This is how we want to move with this much care, mindfulness. Maybe palms together, inhale. And then exhale, take the hands down, step back, plank pose. Top of a push-up, inhale. Exhale to the ground or Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, cobra or your up dog. Exhale, you'll come back, downward facing dog. Gaze between your feet. Here's our first real downward facing dog of the day. So greet it like that long lost friend. Be in relationship with it. So we want enough being that we're really present with all of this movement and this breath that we're forming. Deep inhale. As you exhale, look forward, step or float the feet up to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift the chest, look up halfway, and you'll exhale, fold in. Inhale, send the arms up, gaze up. Palms to prayer. Exhale. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms up, reach up. Big exhale as you extend out. Hug that belly in as you draw forward. Inhale on your fingertips or hands on shins. Exhale, step back or float back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Find that external rotation in the upper arms as you lower. Cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Spread well the surface of the foot. And then feel your fingertips for the last breath. Really press a little monkey grip into the fingertips. Then when you're ready to float up, press down if you're jumping to the front of the mat. Otherwise, step up. Inhale, lift the chest, extend the heart. Exhale, you'll fold in. Reach the arms up, sweep up. Let's come straight back down as you exhale. When you're ready, forward fold all the way forward into the legs. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, step or float back. Great. Maybe that mantra, keep remembering it. This is me filling up my own prana tank, filling up my own mita. The Lindsley meter or the Claire meter. Inhale a breath. Step or float up to the front of the mat. Take your feet together. Lift the chest. Inhale. Exhale, fold in. Bend the knees. Come into chair. Utkatasana. Sit low. Push the heels into the earth. Yeah, yes, feet gently together. Come up to stand. Inhale all the way up. Palms to prayer. Gaze at your fingertips. Inhale, bend the knees. Utkatasana. Go low. Exhale, fold over the legs. One breath per movement. Lift the chest. Look up. Exhale, step back or float back. Let each pose take its place. Step into Warrior One on the right side when you're ready. Virabhadrasana 1. We're coming through our B Sun salutes. Bend that front thigh. Reach the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, take it down. Chaturanga Dandasana. Left side. Come through Warrior One. Bend that front knee deeply. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, take the arms down. Chaturanga Dandasana. Good. This is why I feel like the Ashtanga Vinyasa practice is so sort of perfectly aligned with who we are right now and serves up some of what we want and some of what we need. Because the mind is trying to find things to do. Great. Here is the asana vinyasa practice. Right? And then it tricks you into beingness, and the ego doesn't know what happened. Right? If you just keep focusing here. Inhale. Look forward. Exhale. Step or float the feet up to the front of the mat. Inhale. Lift your chest. Exhale. You fold in. Feet together. Bend the knees. Utkatasana. Up to stand. Spring up. Palms to prayer. Inhale. Bend the knees. Your Utkatasana. Sit low. Exhale. Fold. Uttanasana. Inhale. Lift up. Exhale. Step or float back. So this is where we're asked then to trust the practice. Just trust the process that you're involved in. Right foot. Warrior One. One breath. Press into that back foot as you rise up. Exhale. If you can take one breath to Chaturanga, go ahead. Maybe you hold for a breath in your plank pose. Perhaps today you're just going to downward facing dog. Maybe you're avoiding those Chaturangas. Always good if you have any shoulder issues, right, is to not lower to the ground. Use your plank as a strengthening platform. And then you'll rest whenever you need to in child's pose. So after your left side, coming through the same sequence, please take 3 breaths in your down dog. And then come to the front. And you'll finish this round in your chair pose and begin another. And keep it really simple so that that thinking mind has its attachment. Can get happy that it has something to do, and then use your breath to bring presence, beingness into it. Surya Namaskar B. Utkatasana. Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana. When you're ready, step or float back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Right. Relax your jaw as you breathe. Warrior One. Other side. Warrior One. You're just going to notice what you're thinking about. And when your thoughts are somewhere other than the breath or the actual movement you're doing at this moment, you'll just say the word thought. And then the next thing that will happen is you'll remember your breath again. We'll take another round after your 3 breaths in downward facing dog. come to the front. This helps to build heat and stamina and strength. The action of Kriya Yoga, the yoga of action here, is that we use this physical practice to create that heat, that burning off of impurities. And then we study ourselves. The svadhyaya, the self-study is removing here. How's my breath? What am I thinking about? How now do I feel I'm really in the present moment? And then the third part is now surrender to the process. Have a sense of trust, opening the heart, right? Once we're in this now, that heart bursts open because there's nothing left. Yeah, good. So after this particular round that you're on in your Surya Namaskar B, either stay in your downward facing dog or rest in child's pose. So if you find your stamina is not that great, I promise if you hear the sound of that Ujjayi Pranayama in the back of the throat and you keep going back to it, your stamina in the practice will grow tremendously. Take a breath here, either in your down dog or your child's pose. I'm going to meet in our plank pose again. So whenever you're ready, come to that top of a push-up, straighten the arms, firm the legs. Right. So start to bring your drishti, your focus, really soft just out in front. Very important where you look in your practice. If your eyes are all around the room, that's where the mind's going to go. So put a little focus right out in front of you on the floor. Inhale. Exhale, lift the hips up, send the right leg up behind you. Exhale, squeeze the knee to the nose. Hover for a moment in that one leg plank. Inhale. Exhale, step the right foot forward. Let's come to crescent pose. Keep the back heel lifted. Inhale, reach the arms up alongside the ears. Draw your waist back here. Bend deeper and drop your left knee almost to the floor. And then inhale, squeeze up from that pelvic floor in the inner thighs. Straighten both legs. Exhale, bend. Almost drop that back knee to the floor. Inhale and pull up through the navel, through the inner thighs, up through the fingers. Again, exhale. Inhale, up. Exhale, come to crescent, your back heel still lifted, and put a little goal post in the arms. Right? Put a little stick 'em up. I surrender arms. A little more descriptive. And then draw your elbows forward slightly, right? And as you rotate, so what we're actually doing is externally rotating those upper arms. Find this energy in your shoulder blades. Press your shoulder blades forward. Keep hugging that belly back. Good. As you inhale, reach the arms up, take them up, interlace the fingers above your head, and turn the palms inside out and straighten the arms. So interlace those fingers, that's it. Turn the palm upward. Squeeze your outer arm in. Now, 2 more breaths and try and straighten the inner back thigh as much as you possibly can, but keep that front knee bent. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Vashisthasana, side arm balance. Take your left hand down. Roll all the way over onto the left outside edge of that left foot. Side plank. 1 arm. If you cannot stack your right foot on top, you'll just take your top foot forward as a little kickstand. Good. Breath and presence. 1 more breath. Let's lift the top leg up. Swing it all the way around. Come to crescent pose for 1 breath. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bring the arms down through your Chaturanga Dandasana or your straight to down dog posture. So there's many levels in the room. It's always an invitation just to get to your edge. Take your left leg up. Take your knee to the nose and squeeze in, and let's hover the knee to the nose in that plank. And then bring the left foot all the way up between the hands a little bit to your left. Crescent pose. Keep your back heel off the ground. Inhale. Arms up. Let's take a dip. Exhale. Come down. Maybe the right knee almost touches the floor, and then squeeze up from the inner thigh. Both legs straight. Exhale down. Inhale. Squeeze up. And down. And then inhale, squeeze up, straighten both legs. And then bend that front thigh. And then put in those I surrender arms. Little goalpost, bend the elbows. Palms up. Or stick them up arms. Good. And then start to work. Notice the upper arms and bring the elbows forward. Rotate the biceps up to the ceiling. You'll feel the effect in the upper back, right? Here we are, just tapping the heart open, very gently. Yes. Good. And then inhale, send the arms up, interlace the fingers. Put the opposite thumb on top this time. Turn the palms inside out. And then squeeze the arms straight alongside the ears, pushing up through the palm of the hands. From here, holding on to that sense of bandha work, take the Uddiyana Bandha strongly back, bring it up by the ears, and straighten the inner back thigh in response. So there's a sense of a thread of the midline. Inhale. Exhale, Vashisthasana, right hand down. Come onto the outside edge of that right foot. Stack your feet if you can. Otherwise, take that top foot as a quick kickstand. You could take that bottom knee down as well. So breathe through your nose. Keep the throat a tiny little bit tightened to find that sound. But soften your jaw. One more breath here. Side arm balance. Lift the top leg up, sweep it around. Inhale, one breath, come up, crescent pose. Exhale, take the arms down. Either step to downward facing dog. Be honest, what do you need? Or maybe it's a little heat, the Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha, good, nice choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a few rests, a few breaths or rests. A few rests or breaths. Use those thighs strongly. So we're committing to the process of transformation. In whatever way that means to you. Right? It has to be it's a personal meaning, it's a personal journey. We all end up in the same place though. Deep breath. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or float the feet up to the front of the mat. Take your feet together, lift that chest, look up. Exhale, fold in. Bend the knees, come into chair, your Utkatasana. Then come up to stand. Inhale, palms to prayer, gaze at your fingertips. Separate your feet hip distance apart. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Inhale. So again, take another 2 breaths and tap the bottom edge of your shoulder blades as we stand. The bottom edge of your shoulder blades through your chest like they're going to burst. Yes. Burst through the chest. So there's a sense of lifted upness. Inhale. And then exhale, fold in this way. Put a bend in your knees. Drop your belly on the thighs. Drop your head. Lift your fist up to the ceiling. Now really let your head go. Inhale. Exhale, slide your hands to the ground. Come to plank pose. All right, so just a little work for the upper body. Lots of choices. You can be here in your plank and just stay. Plank is an incredible pose for the entire body. Make sure you externally rotate that upper arm to the front of the room. You can always drop your knees when you're ready. If you'd like chaturanga push-ups, you're going to take 3 of them here. You can take exhale down, inhale up. But notice the legs and the side waist is engaged if you're taking the chaturanga push-ups. Inhale a breath. Back to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right. Slow it down. Let the heat rise and slow down your breath. Right foot forward, warrior 2. Step the foot all the way up and come up out to the side. So my daughter interrupted my busyness with some stillness, right? There I was, kind of putting things together, got a plan, right? And she came up, basically put the halt sign on it. So then we get to practice this in our yoga, when we hold postures. It's putting the halt sign, and then we got to see how good we do with it. Like, no, I have a plan in my head. There's other things I have to do, yeah? No. This is the practice. Press into your back foot, right? Lift the chest up, that'll help those shoulders, right? So that middle of the sternum, really draw it up. The trapezius muscle will drop down, right? And if you ever need to put those hands on the hips and relax those shoulders, go ahead. Let's see if we can take 3 more breaths here. Simple warrior 2. Deep breath in. Exhale, take the hands down, Chaturanga Dandasana, or your downward facing dog. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Warrior 2 on the left side. Step the left foot forward, bring it right up between the hands, bring your back heel to the earth. So my lovely friend Lindsley knows about this really well, right? A very, very, very busy life and a busy period of her life. And there was so much doing and not enough beingness, is that she wound up in the hospital, right? Yeah, so if it's just a continuous set, and you can even kind of practice this in your yoga practice, you can still be there, and there's none of that halting, that beingness, eventually the body, the mind, will do something to put that stop sign up in some way, right? And it's weird. Sometimes it comes in ways like, how is that possible? It's a car accident, right? Not even a sickness. But life will have a way of saying, you better slow down, sister. Let's take 4 breaths, right? In the warrior 2. Keep your gaze in one spot. Lovely yogis. Inhale. Exhale, take your arms down, right? So maybe it's down dog. Maybe you're like, I need a little less doing. Maybe I don't need the chaturanga, right? If you're looking for more heat, you take that chaturanga. What's your prescription for you today? Yeah. As we get quieter and quieter, we know more and more of what we need. Let's step the right foot forward for Uttita Trikonasana. We'll come up to stand. Turn your back toes in. Take the arms, wimble them up out to the side so we're in a standing position. Make sure those back toes are turned in a lot. Squeeze your front kneecap. Inhale. Exhale. Extend the right side of that waist. Take it down on the outside edge of your right heel. Reach the left arm up. Stack those shoulders. So if you feel a little collapse in your top shoulder, you're going to have to come up a little higher off the ground with the right hand. It could be higher up on the block, or maybe you try the fingertips instead. And then really reach through the top fingers, because they're part of the body as well, right? You don't finish there at the wrist. You don't even finish at the fingertips. So you want to know how you're progressing in your yoga practice? Nothing to do with arm balances. It's to do with how much presence are you able to bring right now. That's it. Completely feel this moment with all that you are. Last deep breath here as we move, and we'll go to a balance. Straighten that front leg. Take your left hand, bring it to the hip, look down, come forward with your fingertips, walk forward, walk forward, walk forward. As you inhale, reach the right leg up. Press through that right heel and engage the inner thigh, right? The left inner thigh, excuse me. Lift the left inner thigh. Maybe bend the top knee. Perhaps grab hold of the foot. Maybe open the chest as you come and wrap the pose. Full moon, draw your tailbone in. Otherwise, be wherever you're at. So we're going to slide the hand back into Utthita Trikonasana triangle pose. So you're going to release the top foot. Start to bend the right knee. Step your left foot back into triangle pose. So you keep the hand on the ground until you find it all the way on the outside edge of that right foot. Good. Reach the left arm up. Keep the left arm up to the ceiling. Let's bend the front knee. Utthita Parshvottanasana, extended side angle. Press your right thigh now into that right arm. Make sure you're up high on those fingertips on that right side if you're not pressing down into the floor. Turn your inner left arm inward. Exhale, bring it over the ear. Now, you're going to finish the line of the spine. Notice what you're doing with the head. Are you throwing the head back? Right? So maybe you look straight forward. Lengthen from the shoulder blades through the crown of the head, and then turn that palm. You look underneath the armpit eventually. Good. One more breath. Deeply press into that back foot. Inhale. Good. As you exhale, look down at your front foot. Send both hands down. Let's come to plank pose. Come to the top of a push-up. With care, let's all lower to the ground, all the way down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way, lay flat on the belly. Interlace your fingers behind your back at your tailbone. Bound Shalabhasana. Stretch through those inner thighs and send the rib cage forward. Press your shoulder blades in so you don't even have to lift up high, right? To start to work those back muscles. But take your fist a little bit off your buttock. That's all. And keep a little bend in those elbows. There. Yes. Bring your tailbone down strongly. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale, release down. Take a breath on the floor. Breathe into your ribs. Bring your forehead to the earth. Bring your feet closer together, and then slide your palms back so that they're by your rib cage. Palms on the floor, elbows to the ceiling. I'm going to start to move into an upward facing dog. Press down through the tops of the feet. Lift the chest, engage the upper back, and then pull yourself forward and up, straightening the arms. So the knees are off the ground. Then bend the elbows and get your thighs a little closer to the earth. Your knees are still off the ground. Roll the biceps, the inner arms, towards the front of the room, towards me, really strongly. And then from there, lift your chest out of your hips. Good. Thighs close, chest out of the hips. Now squeeze your belly in strongly, really strongly, to come up into downward facing dog. Now you're going to notice, did you use a lot of your heel of the hand, right? You're going to feel your wrist too much if you do that. So you're going to spread your fingers and try and get more spread out on the fingertips. Utthita Trikonasana. Step your left foot forward. Bring it all the way up between the hands. Come around. Straighten both legs as you come up. Firm your kneecap. You're going to move your block if you have one, if you want to use one. Bring it on the outside edge of that front foot. Inhale, squeeze your kneecap. Exhale, reach forward. Bring your front heel and align it with the arch of your back foot. Do that first before you come in. There's the arch. There's your heel. Line it up with the arch of your back foot. That's it. Squeeze that kneecap. Reach out as much as you can as you come down. Grip your outer left buttock with the muscles of your outer left buttock. And then extend the arms away from each other strongly. Use your back leg. Inhale. Take your right hand to your hip. Bend the front knee. Walk forward. Slide your left hand on the ground. Inhale. Ardha Chandrasana. Half moon. Slide the right leg up to the ceiling. Flex that back foot. Extend the arms apart when ready. Some of you will bend the top knee, grab hold of the foot, and finish the posture in a bind in full moon. That's it. Open up the chest. Extend your thigh. All is well. All is well. You're just filling up your meter, your prana meter. Inhale. So as we release the foot and you bend the front knee, you're going to slide the hand all the way back into Utthita Trikonasana. So rather than don't come up, stay down. Take your left hand on the outside edge, slide it back. Inhale a breath. Exhale, begin to bend that left knee back into a Utthita Parshvottanasana, extended side angle. You may have to come back up on a block. Good. Use the back leg. Don't go so wide in your legs that you can't get that knee to stack right over. Bend that front knee. That's it. Exhale, take your top arm over the ear. Exhale. And you just begin to notice. So you're waiting for things to be over, right? So the practice can be as sweet as that 9-year-old wrapping her legs and her body around you, saying she needs her mommy meter filled up, right? We don't have to wait for something like that, right? Here you are in your practice, giving yourself love. Another 2 breaths. Is that okay? Inhale. Exhale, take the hands down, step back. Remember, you can always go to down dog. Those of you that are keeping your heat rising, Chaturanga Dandasana, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, nice guys, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, come forward to plank. Little strength work. Let's see if you can lower to the ground for a count of 5, 4, hug the belly in, 3, that's it, 2, 1. Again, lay all the way down, flat on your belly. Let's bend the knees, grab hold of the tops of the feet or your ankles for Dhanurasana. Press your buttock flesh deeply into the ground. Right, so you're trying to take your buttock as if you're trying to dive the buttock all the way through the body into the earth. Then you can inhale, come up. Now we've got a little safety for that tailbone. So the tailbone, drop it down, and then lift the chest. One more inhale. Inhale. Exhale, release down. Rest your head to one side. Shake your hips a little from side to side. Bring your palms again. Slide your palms back alongside your rib cage. Bring your feet together. Squeeze your shoulder blades, activate the upper back. The body will be so happy if you do that. And then slide forward, and then up into upward facing dog again. So you're going to slide forward, forward, forward. Keep going forward as you go up, right? The sense of pulling your arms, that's it. Keep your thighs off the ground. Bend your elbows just a little bit, back behind you. Back behind you, roll your biceps forward and then lift the chest up. Good, notice your fingers, right? Press into your fingers, inhale. And then exhale, use your belly, downward facing dog. Nice work. One last standing pose. When you're ready, Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Step your right foot forward. Get some distance between your legs. Give yourself some space. Take the right foot over to the right and turn your back toes in. Inhale, arms up alongside the ears. Take 5 breaths. Start by looking forward. The work that we've been doing, lift up the lower bandha, draw your waist back. So the full posture is actually the right thigh, it's level with the ground. So we actually have to slide the inner thigh forward to do that. And then eventually, right, as the arms get straighter and straighter, press your palms together and look up. Nice. One more breath. Inhale. Let's twist. Exhale, bring your left elbow forward. Take the arm all the way out through the legs and then bring your left arm on the outside edge of your right thigh for Parvrita Parshvakonasana. The heel can be on the ground or you can pick the heel up if you're finding it hard to really get that rotation of your shoulders around. Press your knee outward into your arm. If you can get your armpit and your knee to touch, extend the arms apart. Otherwise, stay where you are for 3 more breaths. If you have the back heel on the ground and your arms extended, the bottom arm to the ground, take the top arm over the ear as you exhale. Practice, practice. All is coming. When you're ready, exhale, release. Chaturanga. Let's all come to down dog. Inhale, open the mouth. Exhale, take a. All right, yes. We're leading ourselves to effortless effort. Doesn't come all at once, right? We find little bits of it, and as we practice more, it builds up. Left foot forward, step it out, bring it some space. Yes, get enough space between the legs. Inhale, arms up. Begin with the arms alongside the ears. There's no such thing as a perfected state, right, in your physical asana. Right? That's why it's called a practice. If we got to this place where we feel like we were perfected something, it would be the end, done. Right? It's just greeting ourselves. Where are you right now? Draw the outer right thigh forward. Right? So a little rotation in that right thigh. There, yes. Draw the waist up. Some of you are touching the palms and you're gazing up. Nice. Inhale. Extend the right arm out to twist. Take the right elbow, hook it on the outside edge. On a big exhale, exhale, hook that elbow. Yes, get that armpit as high, or rather as low, down the leg. See if you can get him to touch. That's it. Exhale. All right, so you can always pick up that back heel. It'll make it a little easier. Some of you can bring those arms apart. Exhale. Very nice. Inhale a breath. Exhale, take the arms down. Maybe it's your last chaturanga. Perhaps you come straight to downward facing dog. We're going to meet forward in plank and take your time again and lower all the way to the ground. Exhale down for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come lay down and rest your head to one side. Bring your arms alongside you. So yoga is the experience of the state of oneness. Yoga is the experience of the state of oneness, where we realize that separateness is an illusion. And when we lay on the ground, as you're doing here right now, you can actually dive your energy, your gratitude, your thankfulness into Mother Earth for holding, for being part of this oneness, for continually supporting us. She hasn't thrown us off the planet yet. Let's give her some gratitude for that, right? Maybe we even ask for a little forgiveness for all that we're doing to her. See if we can do better. Switch your head to the other side. Exhale. Right. And again. Pour your gratitude towards her. And then bring your forehead to the floor. Let's go back in, Dhanurasana. So bend the knees, grab hold of the tops of the feet or the ankles, draw your tailbone, your buttock flesh down. That's it. And then when you're ready, inhale, come up, take your hands, draw the thighs off the earth. So can we find a little stability here? I know sometimes for myself, I get up and I'm trying to find a way out. Maybe can we take at least 5 breaths? Good, inhale. Exhale, release down, rest your head to the other side. Shake the hips. So we're working towards full Bhujangasana. We use the baby Bhujangasana at the beginning of the practice to gently coax the body into opening and back extensions. But the full Bhujangasana is actually deep, very deep. So as we bring our, let's bring our elbows out. So we're on our belly. Bring your elbows out in front of you. So prop yourself up on your forearms and bring your elbows underneath the armpits. Yeah, sometimes known as Sphinx pose. And spread your fingers. Good. And reach those legs straight back. So you can feel, right, there's a couple of directions your hips can go. We often wiggle from side to side to get a little back release. That feels good. Right? And then they can tilt, right? Anterior tilt, posterior tilt. So as you bring your tailbone down, right, that's a posterior tilt, right? So you're going to bring your tailbone down and hug a little bit of the hip up. We're going to keep that. That should feel contained and safe when we can start to do this work. You can keep your fingers off the ground, actually. And just bring the heel of the hand down for this. And we don't do this for many postures, but we can use it here to really get that heel of the hand down and begin to straighten the arms. So roll the biceps forward, put a little of that tilt, that posterior tilt, hug the belly in, and then drop the shoulder blades down. Inhale a breath, press out through those feet. Exhale, come down on your elbows. So we'll work back a little bit. Now notice, you can take your palms back. Maybe you don't need to. Maybe that was enough. If there's a grip in the lower back, try squeezing more of the waist back. So squeeze the side waist up to the ceiling, then come up again. Okay, feel that? So the top of the thighs stay on the ground. Drop your shoulder heads down. Inhale. We're not quite in full Bhujangasana, but we're almost there. Exhale, elbows down, right? If you could and you can, and you feel like you have that back extension, walk your hands back again. Start to lift up. Find that lift, that squeeze of the waist. Then you come up. Right? And then eventually, maybe the hands back even a little bit more. Keep the thighs on the ground, elbows in and back. And then inhale. Otherwise, go back to that first position. So this is often done in a way that's a little too cavalier. Drop the shoulders down, right? People think that this is where you need to go when you're in your vinyasas. It's not. It's a very deep pose for a lot of us. It really have to work the upper back. Exhale, come down. Shake your hips a little from side to side. And for me, I think for most of us, it's actually when you do that well or fully, it's harder than upward facing dog, right? Because we're not picking ourselves off the ground. Take a deep breath. Good. And then let's exhale, turn around, not turn around, flip over more. Flip over onto your back. Yeah. Bring your heels in. Bring them up towards your buttock. Let's just take a bridge pose. We'll go back a little bit to where we started at the beginning, but we'll take full bridge now. So plant your feet, separate your feet hip distance apart, turn the toes in, lift the hips up, interlace your fingers underneath your back. Now notice we've accessed some of the back body, or quite a bit of the back body today. Great. You should be able to open up that upper back a little bit more, but make those legs do the work in your bridge pose. Yeah. How's your back feel? How's your back feel? Okay, great. You're going to lift those hips. That's it. Firm into those heels. Beautiful. And then be patient with the body. Be patient with your breath. Come on down. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Big breath. Okay. So the strength work for the upper arms also is needed for Urdhva Dhanurasana because we do have to press ourselves up, right? There is some upper body work that comes into play here. So that's why holding plank is really useful for backbends. Let's take our hands, take the palms alongside your ears, turn your fingers out. If you're not practicing Urdhva Dhanurasana today, you'll come back into your bridge. Elbows in. Use the feet, push into the feet, lift the hips. Inhale, come up, straighten the arms all the way up. Good. Now turn the toes in. Be vigilant with those feet, right? Especially those of you that come up sort of easy in the way, but you don't really get those feet parallel, right? That's kind of your next stage. Good. Really press down through those feet. Now, in your Urdhva Dhanurasana, just take a breath. Imagine you could pop up to stand. That's how much you're pressing through those feet. Ooh, yeah, just take the action of it. Yes. Inhale. Good. Exhale, tuck your chin in. Come on down. Breath, right. Inhale, exhale. Let's take a big breath in. Inhale, open the mouth as you exhale. Parallel your feet. Bring the arms up over the ears. Place the palms alongside your ears. Urdhva Dhanurasana arms. Inhale, hug your belly in. So notice if your lower back is gripping, do the same thing as we just did in the Bhujangasana. Squeeze the belly in first. Protect the back and then come up. Inhale all the way up. That's it, that's it. Press into those feet like you could come up to stand. Inhale, exhale. Good, come on down. We just got one more. We're going to do something fun. Stay with it. Look at the smile. It's so sweet. Right? Fill in the Claire meter. Fill in the Lindsley meter. Right? You come to yoga. That's what you should do. You should come to the door and go, my yoga meter's not full. My yoga meter's not full. Okay. Feet to the ground. It is now. All right. Last breath. This is a little bit of that last souping up, right? Of that prana meter. Hands alongside your ears. Elbows in. Use your legs. Inhale. Come on up. Yeah, you have it. You've got the reserve. Inhale. Good. Okay. Dvipada Viparita Dandasana. Pop your head on the ground. Inhale. Just the head. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Bring your elbows to the ground. Lovely, guys. If you have the Dvipada arms, walk your feet slowly away, just a little, and a little, and a little. Good. And then turn the toes in and move your chest away from your feet. Yes. And your head can come off the ground, right? You can press down so much that head comes off the ground. Nice. And to come back from this, you walk your feet in, press your palms into the floor, straighten your arms, back into Urdhva Dhanurasana. If I've lost you along the way, all good, be on your back. Hug your knees into your chest. And then take your knees to the left. Gently ease the knees to the left. And gentle twist. And take your knees up to center and switch the sides. So as you come back to center, let's just take little circles with the knees. Just be kind to the lower back. Lots of nerve endings down there. So go in, massage them. And then go around in an opposing circle with your knees. So where we're moving to now is shoulder stand. So especially with all that back bend prep, we're really primed for a shoulder stand. Shoulder stand is a very healing posture. Now, a couple of things. Only ever do it with blankets. Don't come up with shoulder stand without your blankets. Your lovely curve in your neck would like to stay there. There's lots of articles about how people don't perform shoulder stand anymore, and I honestly think it's because nobody was learning to do it with blankets anymore, right? Or unless you're in the Iyengar tradition, right? So 2 to 3 blankets. I can help you set up. You can be like literally like the queen in it, right? Another way to do it is on a chair. If you want me to show you that, I can. 2 or 3 blankets. Now, some people really do have some major shoulder stuff and neck stuff going on, so if you're like that, then you can just take your legs up the wall for this section of class and get a restored version of an inversion. Okay, I'm going to take the mat on your blankets. When you stack your blankets neatly to create a ledge, you're going to take your mat over the blankets. So you got a little sticky mat for your elbows, right? And then so you can get a little grip. And then you come lie down and put your head on the floor and your shoulders on the blankets. You want to make sure and you want about 2 inches away from the edge of the blanket and your shoulders. Good. And then grab hold of that mat, grip it, Good. And then you're going to swing the legs over to Halasana. See if you can get a nice swing and get your feet all the way over. Good. Keep going, keep going. See if you can get your toes to touch the floor. Or you could do this against the wall, right, and put your feet against a wall. And then from there, tuck and roll the shoulders underneath. Interlace your fingers like you would do in a bridge pose. Keep trying to bring the legs, yes, see, we're trying to get the hips to stack over the shoulders before we come up and straighten those legs. And then bend your elbows, and then take your hands on your back and support your back. Right, so unclasp your fingers, yes. And then from there, try and walk your hands down closer to, yes, your shoulder blades, and pull that back energy in through the chest. And then leg up one at a time. See if you can get the leg straight. Can we get it to go straight? Good. You're going to lean a little bit into your hands to come up. So you're going to lean a little bit that way, right? Put a little energy into your hands. Good. And then bring the leg straight up, as straight as you can. That's shoulder stand right there, right? And your neck should feel hopefully okay. Yep. Good. 2 or 3 blankets. Good. So it's a lot of work for the back, right? As you draw the back in, right, it really strengthens that back body. And it's one inversion that we can actually build up a little timing to, right? We can hold a little longer. We can let the inversion do its work. It's been known to be really fabulous for resetting the nervous system, working on our endocrine system, your hormonal system, and boost for the immune system. So the way that you came in, that set up, as you walk your hands down your back, you can keep sort of refreshing the pose in that way. And make sure you're pressing through your tops of your shoulders and your outer shoulders. And keep your gaze up at your toes. Let's see if we can take 5 more breaths. And after your 5th breath, bring your legs back over for plow pose, Halasana. So if you can get the toes to touch the floor, right, you're going to walk your feet further away from your head. See if you can walk your feet away, yes, away from your head. Putting a deeper curve in your back. Nice. And if you get there, bend your knees for Karnapadasana and get your knees alongside your ears. And see if you can squeeze down a little bit. It helps release the lower back. If you get that far, reach the arms around the shins or the backs of the knees and hug in. So there's a little wrap, a little bind here with your arms. You can bind your wrists. Good, deep breath in, breathe into that lower back. Exhale. Now reach around to the front and grab hold of your mat. Grip it, keep your head on the ground as you roll down. It helps to lift your head and look to your feet. Not off the ground, but just tip your head towards your feet as you roll down. So you look back a little, keep your head on the ground, keep your head on the ground. It'll stop any of that neck from gripping. Once you get your buttock on the ground, you're going to move back, shimmy the whole body back to where your head is, right? So the position, the direction of where your head is, keep shimmying back that way until you get your shoulder blades off the blanket, right? Until you can feel your shoulder blades are off. And then do that, I surrender arms. So we're in a restorative fish. Restorative Matsyasana. Shoulder blades off, shoulder blades off. And you can rest here, right? You okay? Oh yeah, you're good. That's all right. Yeah, and let the body rest. And so roll onto your side and take the blankets out. Come lay flat on your back. And come to thread the needle on your back. Bring your right foot on top of your left thigh and bring your knee into your chest. Yeah. Exhale and release other side. Hug your knees in one last time. And then take your feet to the ground, straighten the legs out. Final rest, Shavasana. Maybe roll something underneath your knees, those of you that might want some extra support for your back. The poem I was looking for earlier, the Rumi poem, is called With That Moon Language. Admit something. Everyone you see, you say to them, love me. Of course, you do not do this out loud. Otherwise, someone would call the cops. Still, though, think about this great pull in us to be connected, this great pull in us to connect. Why not become the one who lives with a full moon in each eye, that is always saying, with that sweet moon language, what every other eye in this world is dying to hear? Begin to deepen your breath. Bring more of that prana in. You're finishing here, just filling your well, right, for the rest of the day. And seeing as we do have the rest of the day ahead of us, as you roll to your right side, perhaps put a little word, feeling, or something that you'd like to manifest into your day. So put that into the pot. We're in a highly suggestible and open place where we can become the object of our desire so much easier when we're tapped into this presence. There's no separation right now. What's the feeling you'd like to unfold today? And then press up to sit. Find Sukhasana, seated position, cross-legged, palms at prayer. Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Thank you. See you soon. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening to Fear Not, a blend of yoga and wisdom for awakening to the magic of the moment where fear does not exist. With me, Claire Hartley. Find me at clairehartleyyoga.com or at my studio, risinglotusyoga.com. Follow me on Facebook, Claire Hartley Yoga, or Twitter at Claire Hart. Send me an email at claire@clairehartleyyoga.com and let me know what else you'd like to hear. Namaste.